Former speaker at 21 Convention and political commentator, author Jack Murphy, aka Cuck Murphy, has been exposed as a literal cuck, not a derogatory cuck, like we'd use in the Manosphere or in politics, a conservative cuck, shit like that. He's a literal cuck, and he was exposed for that, for writing an article on it on his blog several years ago, I think 2018. And it's not just what he did that's been so bad. It's that the way he handled a response to it, being questioned about it on a public podcast on the Blaze.
Could you please clear up the cuck article you wrote?
I am not going to talk about this.
Okay.
And basically, you know what? F you for bringing this up right here and right now. Why are you doing this to me?
I didn't know that. I didn't know what it was.
Well, just use a little bit of common sense.
Sorry, apologies.
Yeah. F you.
Elizabeth.
Heartfelt.
So Jack Murphy is the author of Democrats Are Deplorable. It's a book that came out several years ago about the Democrats, I think 9 million, that switched from voting for Obama to Donald Trump in 2016. He was a speaker in 2018 and 2019 at the 21 Convention and then 21 Convention Patriarch Edition. Those two events were about, 7 months apart, because it was late 2018 and early 2019 in the spring.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. You have quite a story there that I think is going to wake a few people up and alert them to the realities of what's going on in society right now.
He did not disclose before he spoke in the 2018 event or 2019 that he was into cucking, had a cuck fetish, and had written about it publicly on his blog at the time. Jack actually blocked me a few months ago on my Twitter when I brought up the Cuckening, what is now blowing up in his face on a much larger scale in political circles and stuff like that. I mean, this is someone I know in real life. You know, this is someone who spoke at 21 Convention. I met him a couple times. I have his personal cell phone. You know, he spoke at my event. I mean, it is what it is. Bought him flights, hotels, stuff like that. And to me, the minute anyone blocks you on social media that you know in real life, this is like a major, major move. You have to have a really, really good reason to do that. And me bringing up the cuckening, just not even too rudely or anything, just kind of brought it up. He just lost his shit and immediately blocked me. He's now on a block rampage. He's been blocking like literally everyone he can find on Twitter. Anybody who mentions this gets instant blocked. Doesn't matter if you know him or not. I think he's basically trying to run cover for his fans, and so that as few as possible of them find out about it. It's a PR disaster at this point, and he's just doing damage control.
Mr. Jack Murphy has been busy blocking everybody. He has since disabled all of the replies on his Twitter feed, which is, of course, the thing a man would do. Certainly one of the things about being a good human, this is being a man or a woman, is taking accountability when you mess up. And Jack Murphy didn't apologize until I was endlessly railing him online. He then decided to block me and claim that I am a drama merchant.
But how can you be this guy that says I'm masculine, I'm strong, and also F you for bringing up my past, and I don't want to talk about that, and you're going to charge people money for this stuff? I'm sorry. I'm just not feeling it.
Shout out to TheQuartering and Better Bachelor for actually covering this. TheQuartering in particular is a huge platform to do an exposed video about this, so good on him. He's also been awesome on Twitter going after this. Undead Chronic's been doing some great roasts too. Shout out to him, Undead Chronic and Ribby the Party Frog. And I'm happy to see Joker, Better Bachelor, calling out a Manosphere grifter now, like Jack Murphy, Cuck Murphy. I do wish Better Bachelor would be more aggressive in calling out the frauds. There's a shit ton in the Manosphere. We got the Three Stooges. We got Simpson Hood, Shart Albert, Donovan Shart. We got, we got the Fraud Father here. I mean, there's a lot of frauds to call out, Joker, but I appreciate you hopping in on this one. And maybe we'll see more of that in the future,
I wrote a lot about dominance and submission in a totally sexual context, in that most women find, I think, and in my experience, but maybe I'm just like a magnet for it, that they enjoy being submissive to the right man. It's not about being submissive to men. This
is the cucking article that's got him in so much trouble lately. Although I want to reiterate again that it's not only what he wrote and what he did, it's the way that he's handled it. It's called like the Streisand effect. He basically failed a massive, let's say, public or PR political test, and his inability to handle this. It exposed who he really is behind the facade of being, pro-masculinity, pro-alpha male, pro-conservative commentator. No, it's bullshit, because that's what's behind the facade. A lot of your YouTube heroes and your podcast heroes and real life guys, I'm sorry to say, are just huge pussies. They're not masculine, they're not men, they're not alpha males. They're beta bitches LARPing on the internet, behind a camera, behind a computer screen, to fool you and to steal money from you and to sucker you out of money, to get you to put your hand on your credit card and give them money. It's sick, it's pathetic, and it's a systemic problem, not only in the manosphere, but in conservative politics and even beyond that in the world. By the way, this has been removed from his blog, I guess, for a while now. And this is a backup of it that I have. He also actually had it removed from the Wayback Machine just recently. Somehow Jack, paid or went into Wayback Machine to actually pull these articles from their historical presence on Wayback Machine. So right from the beginning, October 9th, 2015 by Jack Murphy. Today I sent my adoring, loyal, hot young girlfriend of 2 years to have sex with a stranger from Tinder. She is currently at his apartment, checked in with me via text, and is presumably sucking and fucking her way to a good time. I'm alone writing. Couldn't be happier. It just gets worse from there, guys. I mean, this is like, look, it's a free country. You want to be a cuck? You want to have like weird kinks and shit? Okay, it's a free country. But to actually write this and then also pretend to promote positive masculinity, being an alpha male or red pill mindsets, all that shit. This is like, I think literally as far as you can get from being an alpha male. I can't think of anything more beta or more gamma or whatever you want to call it than literally sending your woman to be inseminated by another man. This is not even like swinger stuff or open relationship, right? He's actually sending her intentionally to get by a dude off Tinder. And then he's just going to sit home and I guess write about it and jerk off or something.
Don't be afraid if you don't bond with your kids right away. If as a father, that kid comes out and you look at it, don't be alarmed if you're not met with overwhelming joy or a deep, immutable connection.
You see, Murphy was just, or Goldstein, I should say, Jack was bragging about how he was teaching his son about sports, about politics, about game. Jack, did you teach your son about how you hoard out his mother? Did you teach your son about how it turned you on to watch his mother with different men?
So midway through the article, he says, I've had sex slaves, little girls, and tied them all up. I don't know what the f is going on there. That's some like super sketch shit. He needs to clear that up immediately. But I don't think he has the balls to do it or the maturity or the stability at this point, emotionally and psychologically. So another part that's important to read here, we've done it together where we picked up a guy at a bar, took him home, and I watched them have sex. Or we've brought a guy from Craigslist over and I took pictures as he banged her. So Craigslist has to be, this is in like 10 different ways. You have to get the sketchiest people on the planet off of Craigslist. That like Tinder's bad enough that it's bad enough that he's doing this, right? It's bad enough how he's handled it like a little bitch to the extreme. But then he's like, picking up random dudes with this chick at the bar and watching them. He's actually sitting there, it looks like in real life, watching them, his girlfriend. This isn't even like where he sends her out, like at the beginning of the article, right? This is him sitting here at home watching them or taking pictures of her getting The time she spends with the other guy isn't really hers alone. It's ours. It's mine. It's her acting out my ideas. No, it's not ours and it's not yours. It's definitely her just getting by a random guy off Tinder. You're delusional. This is copium. This is copium times a million. Like, this is unbelievable. You wrote this, man. Jack goes on. It is not incongruent with our dominant submissive relationship, as crazy as that may sound to some. Yeah, it actually does sound crazy, Jack. There's nothing submissive about her getting by another man, right? This is like the opposite of being an alpha male. This is being a beta male and is rationalizing it on steroids. Like, it's unbelievable you wrote this, man. Here's what he says next. Check this out. What I'm talking about is advanced stuff, guys. Apex level. He's promoting cucking. Literal sit in the closet or take pictures of the shit in front of your face as apex level masculinity, apex level game, apex level red pill. It's hard to imagine how much further from the mark you could get from on this. This is insane. Totally insane. So now he goes into tips for actually how to be a cuck. Tip 1, it must always be your idea. Oh, great. Tip number 2, have her a young guy. Not an old guy, not a middle-aged guy, a young guy. It's got to be a young Chad Thundercock here, right? Tip number 3, have fun. Check in with yourself. Make sure you're enjoying it. Some of you are going to call me a cuckold, a pussy, or accuse me of being somehow less of a man. Maybe you think I'm secretly gay. Yeah, this sounds pretty gay, man. This is like straight up, maybe not gay, but sugar in the tank, like my good friend the War Room would say. Shout out to him. Bisexual. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you're gay and just like hiding about it or something. And if you're gay, you're gay, man. It is what it is. I'm not gonna like, hold that against you in particular. But you seem to be at war with it if that's the case, and totally in denial and in the closet.
If you're friends with a guy, someone will be like, "What are you guys gay?"
Yeah.
And that has been weaponized homophobia, is what I call it. I don't believe that the real issue is like promotion of homosexuality, but I mean, deviance is out there. I want to back that up. Deviant in a technical sense, right? It's out there. But the issue here is that the weaponized homophobia, like preying on everyone's fears of being called gay, has been the way that they've destroyed male friendship, destroyed the sense of agape, right? Like true manly love.
If you look at the Luminal Order, his main moneymaker, I hear he makes about 300 to 400,000 a year off this thing. I don't know for certain if that's accurate. That's what I hear. So this is his main moneymaker. This is one of the reasons he's freaking out right now. He's freaking out because he's going to lose a ton of money. He acts like a victim. If you go on his Twitter, you'll see that. It's this whole victim mindset garbage he has. But really, it's because he wants to protect his relationships with people like Tim Pool, people who give him platforms, and his Luminal Order thing where he gets to steal money from guys for $100 a month, $99 a month, whatever it is.
I interview guys every single day for the Luminal Order, and every time in every session I ask the guy, so what is the most important value to you? And then sometimes the guy will say personal accountability, and I say, yeah, personal accountability, huh? And then I look at him and I'm like, bro, you say that's your value, but I'm looking at you and you're 80 pounds overweight. So like, how are you embodying your values, right? Like, how is it manifesting itself in your life? How is it demonstrating to me that this is a value that you hold dear?
In 2019, Jack started becoming a lot more hostile to the Manosphere, even though he had been blogging in it for a long, long time. He actually declared in 2019 that the Manosphere is dead. So that was about 2.5 years ago at this point when he made that tweet. That's when he started making a lot more enemies in the Manosphere around that time too. And it's basically this catnip for conservatives who don't like the Manosphere, these tradcons, who are not open to talking about having real conversations about masculinity and what needs to change in America and about feminism and stuff. It's just pandering to conservatives basically to grift off them to get money from them. It's a common thing to try to leapfrog from the Manosphere to conservative politics. And then once you get to conservative politics, where he kind of networked his different relationships, Tim Pool, like that, he just throws everybody who ever knew him under the bus, and anyone who's coming after him to expose him for being a charlatan, to being a poser and a fake and a phony. So look what he goes here. I get why people are jealous. I am free. I am uncancelable. I am supported. I do great work. I can do whatever I want, like sending your girlfriend out to get by dudes off Tinder. Congratulations, dude. Look at who hates me. Antifa, the Manosphere, and YouTube rage merchants. So this is all ad hominem stuff. He's trying to package deal Antifa, right, domestic terrorist organization, with the Manosphere and random YouTubers like TheQuartering and Better Bachelor, I guess, right? Good riddance, he says. This is like complete bullshit. Here's where he goes off the rails. Those guys are school shooters waiting to happen. But this pissed me off. Calling the whole Manosphere school shooters is like ridiculous, man. There are some problems in the Manosphere, no doubt. I'm doing my best to clean it up, clean up the filth. But this is really beyond absurd, beyond the pale. Right now, I want to make it really clear that I completely have nothing to do with Jack Murphy at this point. Jack Murphy has no current association with 21 Studios, 21 Convention, anything like that. Has not in a long time. I've lost all respect for you, Jack. It was a mistake to ever let you speak at 21 Convention. You should have disclosed that you were into cucking before you ever spoke in 2018. It was unethical that you did not. You've embarrassed yourself. You've embarrassed the 21 Convention. You've embarrassed 21 Studios. You've embarrassed platforms like Tim Pool and Jack Posobiec could give you, and even Mike Cernovich, who give you platforms to to talk and speak and to help promote your message. So you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And that's what pisses me off the most, is you've taken no responsibility, no accountability, and you have no shame for what you've done. Acting like a bitch, doing all this cuck stuff, handling it in the worst way possible when it's already bizarre to begin with. This is beyond pathetic, man. And you've given new meaning to the term conserva cuck, I would say. I mean, typically conserva cuck is like an insult, a derogatory term. You've actually managed to combine these things in real life. And really, I think you're just like a Bernie bro, basically. You're a Bernie bro conserva grifter pretending to be this masculine alpha male, trying to leech off of basically these conservative beta males. And it's sick. It needs to stop. My favorite philosopher, Ayn Rand, said something great that I think it's a quote that needs to be said here. She said that you can evade reality, but you cannot evade the consequences of evading reality.